Hello, hello, hello. I was testing this mic this morning. It was a little loud. But what happened to my camera here? Let's see what's going on with that here. Nope, not that one. Not that one either. It's gotta be it. There we go. Turn this around there. Now you can see me. Come around here, and we got this going. See my little pre-drawing there. Let's see here now. I'm going to hide this. Put something else up. Okay. Let's turn this light off. I'm going to turn the light off here. Hold on. Okay, great. How are you guys doing tonight? Everyone ready? Let's see, who do we got? We got Ed and Jacqueline's around. Okay, excellent. And we're going to get started here right away. So we have plenty of time to work out a couple things here. I hope that everyone's ready to go. Let me go ahead and I'm going to take down our picture for a minute. And let me introduce myself. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday night edition of our portrait drawing class. In our Facebook group, you can find a link down in the description. We vote on Wednesdays what picture we want to draw, and this was the winning portrait. So this is what we're going to work on tonight. Hello, Russell. So this is what we're going to work on tonight. We're going to draw this portrait tonight, and a lot of people are returning, a lot of people are new, so I like to always review, go over the basics, and then we will get into our portrait, okay? And we're live chatting, so if you have any specific questions, I will make sure that Russell can answer them for you, or Ed, or Jacqueline, okay? How about that? All right, let's get started here. So, let's try and keep this as I just want to keep this as basic for you. All right, I want to try and make portrait drawing as painless as possible. All right, so let's take a look at some of a couple basic ideas here. So we always like to start with some type of sphere or an oval, and first thing we want to ask ourselves, let me show you this, and I've often described this before, but it's always worth repeating because this can have a big effect as you're drawing. You know, you can actually get the face to look like it's turning one way or turning to the left, depending where you put the features in it. So, for example, all three of these smiling faces, A, B, and C, look like they're looking straight at us. But if I were to put them to one side of a circle, I could get him to look like 3/4. Or if I put it toward the bottom, he looks like he's looking up. And the same thing goes true here. If I do this, and now look, he's got a little chin here and a little bit of ears. Okay, so that's quick little lesson one. Make sure when you're drawing, make sure you're shifting all the features one way or the other, and that's going to add to the direction that's looking. Okay, that's number one. Something we went over this morning in the daily draw. The daily draw is a morning class. We get together for half an hour and look at something different every single day. If you do miss it, we have a recording you can watch of the day. But today, being portrait day in that class, we took a deep dive looking at ears. And I want to pass on to you one little tidbit from that class. Let's say this is my head here. And this is going to be my brow line. And this is my center line. And when I say center line, what I mean is that's where like the face is lining up, right in that center. Okay, so this center line is over here. This is the brow line. This is the line that goes through your eyebrows here. Okay, And typically when you're drawing an ear, usually that ear, the top of the ear will be right along the brow line, and the bottom of it will line up right below the nose. So that's a really good alignment to always remind yourself of, okay? And I want you to put that in the back of your head and just remember it. So the ear, the top of the ear, the brow line or the eye, the bottom of your ear lines up with your nose, okay? It's a good alignment to remember. It's pretty easy. I have two other alignments I could show you on that. You have the cheek. The cheek also lines up. Let's see, go over here. The cheekbone also, it's right here. You could feel it on your own face. It lines up with the nose, cheekbone, bottom of the ear, and then back of skull. All of those things line up. I like to call those the Fantastic Four, because you could always remember those things are all squared up. Top of your head doesn't move. The skull stays the same no matter where you twist it. All right, so that's tidbit number 2. All right, so face placement, and remember the Fantastic Four. All right, so if you walk away tonight and that's all you remember, that's a great place to start. Okay, let's clear this up here, and then let's walk through. What time is it right now? 10 minutes in. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our drawing tonight then. Okay, and we're going to take this, go nice and slow, step by step. If I go too fast, just give me a holler and I'll slow down for you, okay? All right, so first thing what we want to do is let's go ahead and establish a sphere. All right, that's going to be my sphere in my head. The next thing we want to do, and it's what you want to determine where the 2D axis is. Is the head twisting to the right? Not twisting, leaning to the right, or leaning to the left? That's the first thing you want to ask yourself. And in this case, she's doing neither. Her head is looking straight at us. All right, so that's the first. That was easy. You passed that, and you didn't even have to draw anything. All right, next we look at the 3D. Once we determine where that axis is, and she's looking straight ahead, now we got to ask, is she leaning her head back, or is she putting her head forward? And we could tell that she's leaning her head back by two things. One, you could see the underside of her nose pretty good, so that gives us one detail. The other detail, and you can't really see it in this picture, is the position of her temples to the top of her ears. So let me quickly show you where the temples are on this, and you could feel them. They're right here on your own head. They're going to be right there and right there. Okay. And her ears are going to be somewhere back in here. Her hair is covering it, so we can see just by that angle that she is tilting up. Okay. So we're going to use those two clues to help us remember that she is tilting up, all right? So let's draw that in there. So let's just say this was her brow line, and it's going to have a slight curve to it, all right? Okay, next thing I want to do is locate the, let's get this side of her head, and let's get this angle. This will be a helpful angle right from the start. I'm going to show it to you. Look at this. Look at that angle there. That's a nice angle. All right. So let's just pop that into our drawing right out of the get-go here. Okay. And then I can see where her temple's going to be right there. All right. And let's be careful where we put the next temple now, but let's also look. Let's look across her whole head here. So let me just make sure. Yep, okay, I'm all right. We've just established that's where her temple is. And that's where her other temple is going to be, okay? And look at this. Look how far out that hair is, okay? So let's judge that distance. Okay, we're just going to go on to our picture here, and we're going to establish. Okay, we're going to guess. I'm going to guess it's right about there, that distance. And her hair is going to be just shy of this. I'm just going to put a little mark right there so I have some idea of that. Okay, the next thing we want to look for is, if I look right here, is the center point, right in between the two eyebrows. It's the gabella, or it's the evil eye, where that would be, and that's going to be right about there. Okay, so let's get that in place as well, and we're going to take a measurement. And remember now, it's not exactly center. It's going to be off center just a little bit, because she's looking in 3/4 view. Remember, we are shifting everything to that left side just a bit. All right, let's drop a center line now, and it's going to have a bit of an angle, remember, because she's looking up. Let's go ahead and drop another line in here. Look at this. So this was that line that we already put in right there. Now look at this next. We could almost draw a straight line right there. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just change the angle slightly, just like that. And then we could see that then this is going to angle in this way. You see that? I don't think I need to draw that in. I think you could see that. Let's try and get an idea where the bottom of the nose is now. So the bottom of the nose, I think, is going to be somewhere around here, just like this. Keep these marks really light. And then we could just guesstimate that distance right there. And it's not quite, this isn't quite even, but that would give us a good mark to guesstimate. So I'm going to put mine right about there. Now, if this is where my eyebrows going to go, I'm going to put a little arrow here. I can kind of then look at this negative space. You see this negative space there? And make a guesstimation of where that is falling. So let's try and recreate that. Kind of peaks over here. Okay, I'm going to erase our marks now. No, don't erase them. Okay, so we're coming down now, and look at that. Look, there's my temple. Okay, that looks good. We're gonna open wide, and I'm just kind of following the direction of her hair, and this is gonna sweep in just like that. So I've gone very slowly, try to map out landmarks. These are key points of her face that at least the outside I'm getting a nice shape to, a nice volume to. Okay, nice mass. All right, let's go ahead and get this nose. Let's start thinking about this nose here. All right, we're gonna come in like this, right? And then look at this right here. Look at this angle. I got this small angle right there. And then almost a straight line right there. And then it flares out. Now behind every mouth, we call this the barrel of the mouth. Okay, so we could drop that in, and that's going to help us kind of form the mouth as we draw it. So it usually is something like this. And in a young person, like she's pretty young, I think, that barrel of the mouth doesn't really show up because, unlike me, who's old, you know, those lines start to show. But this will help us to form the lips. You see that? Let's create our center line. It's gonna go over the, and then it's also gonna go over the top of the chin. All right, let's start working on these eyes here a little bit, okay? So let's establish our eye line, and if that's my glabella right there, I can see it's slightly below that. Okay, there's a good eye line, I think. And I'm going to just kind of drop in a faint line for her chin right there. As long as I'm just kind of give me something to start to build on. Okay, usually we have like you have the width of your eye, and in between your eyes is a third width. Okay, so it's like 3 eyes that are lined up. So let's go ahead and put the first one in, and just go really light here. I'm actually gonna kind of draw the eyeball. It's easier for me personally to get these eyes in when I am drawing eyeballs. Okay. I may have drawn that one too big, but I'm going to roll with it. I also like putting a ball in, or a sphere, because it's easier for me to place the pupil. Okay, so let's just kind of put that. That's going to be shifted to the right side ever so slightly, and then so is this one. Now, one thing when I'm putting those in, one thing I am looking for, I'm going to zoom in here for a second. One thing I am, when I'm drawing the pupil in, I'm really focused on those negative shapes. What is the negative shape of the whites of the eye? Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for. Oh, you're doing a good job. Oh, thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and tone that. I'm going to just slightly tone in the pupil there just a little bit. All right, I'm going to zoom in here just a bit for my eye work, and I'm going to move my picture over, I think. Oops. Okay. Okay, so as we get ready to draw our eye, let's establish. Let's put this point in first. This is going to be the corner of the eye right there. And when I put in the other side, see, I'm kind of putting that in there, and then oh look, the other side's a little bit lower. You see that? And as long as I'm right here, I'm going to show you. Look at the shape of the eye. You've got almost a little bit straight, and then a nice long. This way it goes long and a little bit straight there, okay? So just remember that when we get to that point. All right, let's get that other eye in here, and I'm just going to guesstimate it just like that. Now, when I draw the eyelids, I want to think of them as going over the eyeball, and it's going to peak early, and then I'm going to have this downward slope. And then the other side is a slight S curve. So it's a slight S curve like this. I'm looking at that negative space of the whites of the eye. Okay. Let's get the other eye in now. Same process. There is this. So let's try and like get that corner there, okay? And the other corner, as I'm looking at it, is almost straight across. It's about straight across there, I think. Is that right? Yep, that looks good. All right, so on the outside here, this is going to wrap around, remember. So we're going to come up slightly, and then a nice big curve here. Okay. And then the bottom is definitely a bit of an S curve, so let's okay. Now I'm going to go back in and adjust my pupils just a little bit. All right, let's get this like let's get the top part of the eye of the not the eyelash, the eyelid, and it's the top part of the eyelid is it's folding down skin. Okay, that's what creates the that beautiful little line there. So let's look at it very closely here before I drop it in. So I wanna look at it closely, so I really get an idea of where it's thick, where it's thin, where it's close. And I'm going to start right here. It gets nice and big there, and it just kind of goes around the eye just like that. And then the same thing, where does it peak? Okay, I got that. It's going to come up here. It's going to come in there. not worried about making it look like her. I only am concerned about the construction. Okay, let's get into this nose now. Since we're already pretty tight here. So let's just come around here like this. That's a nice little bottom there of it, right? And then I can see that this nostril is almost in the same direction. Look at that. Same direction as the bottom of her nose there. Let's bring this in. Let's get this wing back here. Look at the shape carefully. Okay. Let's get this wing. All right, let's add some tone here. At this point, I'm gonna add a little bit of tone. Common amount of tone right here. But look at this. Now, this is important. Right along this edge here, it gets a little bit dark. Probably too dark, so let me lighten mine up just a little bit. Okay. All right, let's work on these lips now. Making sure that things are all lining up. Let's get the top part. All we're going to do right here is just kind of establish. And she doesn't, I don't know what this little part of the lip is right there. But she doesn't have much of it. It's just slightly there. Oops. Okay, now let's come down here and establish where this. So these are the next marks I'm going to put on the map page. So I've just kind of established that. Next, I want to establish that point there. I want to establish that right there. Those are all the pieces that I'm looking for. So we got that. So it's almost like a star constellation. Look at the relationship between those. All right, let's get the right side here first, the left side. All right, we're going to dip down there. And this is a nice slight S curve, so here we go. Oh, that's awful. Oh boy. Nope, I don't like that either. Look at that. See? I'm Trust what I should be trusting what I see and not what I think, right? Somebody once told me that. Okay, let's get the very inside part of the lip right there. And all this is going to be is literally a straight line. We're going to have a straight line coming back like this. Now over here you want to overlap. Look, see that slight overlap I just created? Slight overlap. Okay, let's get this. Let's not worry about the teeth yet, but let's just leave it open. Straight line going across for that lip there. And you really want to shift this. I have to cut my lips down just a, my lips. I went too far here. So it's all about making slight adjustments if you need to. So let's talk about teeth for a minute, because she's got some teeth here. So first thing I want to do when I'm drawing teeth, I want to tone in the whole mouth just a bit, because the whole thing is it's in shadow. It's way back in the back there. And then all I want to do is, once I have all the teeth toned down just a bit, then I don't want to draw the teeth. I'm going to really be concerned with the dark areas. So watch what I do here. I'm just going to bring this in like this. And then I'm going to bring this in just like that. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything more in there. I could go back in now and kind of adjust these lips a little bit. And let's put just a slight tone in that top lip. Slight now. You see, I can even see that this is, boy, I made my lips go too far. Too far out. So, you know, you're always adjusting. Always adjusting. Oops. Cancel. Okay. Okay, let's continue on here. All right, we've got that's the hardest part, I think, right? So let's go in and get these eyebrows now. Let's kind of establish the length of these eyebrows. Let's look at that negative shape between the bottom of the eyebrow and our lid and our top of our eyelid, and I'm just going to try and just use straight lines here to get this eyebrow in place. And then the other side as well. Okay, this is going to come all the way back here, right back into her hair. Oh, hey Joe, how are you doing? I'm sorry, I got so focused here I didn't notice you chiming in here, huh? Hope you're doing good tonight. Okay, let's come back in now and kind of get the side of our face here, right? So we can start getting this to be honed in just a bit more. A lot of times in the corner of the mouth, if you just put a little bit of a shadow right there, you see that's happening, and also over here, it works great to pop that into place there. I'm going to drop a slight tone on the side of her face here, just slight. Just kind of following the shadow. Good, good. I see you're doing really good, Joe. Excellent. Okay, let's talk about hair. Oh boy. All right. Here's the, let's look at this, where this part is. Let's carefully place that. And then we're just going to, I was thinking about this. On the outside of her hair, let's create the outside border. Like we're going to draw the shape, but don't use any straight line. Don't use any curved lines. So watch what I'm going to do here. It's going to be a little bit flatter toward the top, and I'm just going to use some straight lines here, being careful that I'm really looking at the negative shape. Okay, this is going to come in here. How are we looking there? Great. I'm just going to use straight lines right now. And then this is going to come up a little bit higher, trying to match just the shape in general. Okay, let's kind of follow some of this hair here and see what's going on. So I'm going to start at the top here. I'm just going to get a squiggle line here. I'm kind of following giving myself a nice curve here. Okay, I'm going to keep following this one down. And I'm using my whole arm as I'm drawing this. I'm not really using my wrist because I want a nice smooth approach to that. Okay, let's go to the other side here, and Now I am going to use my wrist, and I'm going to use it right here. I'll show you. Because I want to get this curl here. Then I'm going to come down a little bit further. And put this curl in. And then I'm going to put this curl in here as well. I'm going to start small. Start with a taper, and then get wide. And then it's going to come around the other side like this. You see this? Almost like a piece of ribbon that's cascading down the head. All right, let's get another piece. Let's come up here maybe. And then another one is down here. All right. Now I could get a nice long one right there. And then maybe a short one. All right, I'm gonna take a break from the hair on that right side there and come back to her eyes and get these eyelashes in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna darken in that upper line there and then come back in and get her pupil. Same thing on the other side. And then underneath. And right over here, I think, too. And I'm going to add a little tone to the white of her eye, just a little bit. Look at this. Look at this area here. Let's see. Is it over here? Is it going to be there? Look at this area right here where it's in shadow of her, okay? Look at that right there. Let's look at that closely. So above her eyelid, it's a little bit darker value right there. You see that? That's gonna help the top of her eyelid to pop off just a little bit. And let's do the same for the other side now. And I'm going to darken the lips a little bit that are on the far side going in the shadow. And her bottom lip as well, and then I'm going to get this slight shadow underneath her lips right there. And then I can also add some tone underneath her neck. Okay. Now, as I'm looking at my picture, I'm going to come back to the hair now another time, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to like squint my eyes. I'm going to squint my eyes. And so when I squint my eyes, I actually can only see two main values. And before we color it, let me show you where they are, okay? So I kind of am seeing this as one large value. You see that? And then I see this. I'm almost seeing those two as the same value. And then this out here is the second value. Okay, so this area in green here is my second value. So I see it as 2, right? So let's go ahead and put those in. Let's just drop a general value here. And we can come back later and darken this up. I'm just doing this to help me make a separation of values. Not even worry about hair detail yet. Okay, I'm even going to drop her neck down just a little bit more. Okay, let's go ahead and get this back side, this hair in the back here, because as we go dark on it, it's going to cause her face to pop forward a bit, and that should be quite nice. All right, let's drop this back. Just looking for the shape here. Oh, you like this a lot. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Joe. So parts of this where it's getting catching some light. We could add some things peeking through there. Where this comes in contact of her face, man, I really want to make that sharp. And then I'm going to come back into her eyelashes a little bit. All right, let's come to the other side. Look carefully now. Don't go too fast. Okay, now my neck remains to be too light, so I really need to drop another tone on that to punch it back. And then on the left hand side here, she has her tendons. They come from the ears straight down into the pit of the neck right there, okay? Oops. Now, coming back to her hair, for me on the right hand side there, I'm going to push thick and thin. Push down and pull up. This I'm going to make this a little bit thicker here, and then come in really tight and then thicken that up again. Same thing up here. I'm just gonna come in tight and then now for her hair back in the back here that is catching a lot of light, I'm gonna try and leave it as little. I'm gonna put as little detail as I can back there, and maybe just come in just with a little bit and really just kind of let the imagination fill in all the extra. Okay, I think that about does it for tonight. How did everyone's turn out? I hope it went well for you. By all means, put these in our Facebook group so I can check them out and answer any other questions you might have. I'm going to erase. I'm just going to slightly erase this line over here. Where is that? Oh, I bet you it's right there. Okay. Oh, yep, there it is. All right, Ed, thank you very much, my friend. And Believer Keeper jumped in. Hey, wonderful. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. This is on recording. You check it out. Throw a thumbs up and a comment. Come in next week. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Join us for the daily draw in the morning time, or watch the recording. Link is down below. And that's it. That's what I got for you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I so much appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. You guys are the best. See y'all later. Bye-bye.